Welcome to the most important podcast you are listening to right now. The A Show with April Hunter and Aron Stevens.
Hello and welcome. Hello. And we are just, you know what? That was the best intro we've ever done because it's just a sample of the week we have both had. As you can tell, my background has been stolen. No, I'm kidding. I had a friend of mine go out of town, and it was like a last minute thing. And she has this gorgeous, beautiful, lovable German Shepherd who is a rescue and is not good with many people, and she also has separation anxiety, and so with me, like, she's super cool with me and awesome, and so I was was doing her the favor to do that because Stella's amazing. I was the dog, the German Shepherd, and it has been chaos. I mean, I encountered a rattlesnake right as I was carrying groceries to where I saw whales as I was using the toilet because the throne overlooks the ocean, and I was using the toilet, and I saw the whales migrating up the coast of Malibu. So that was incredible. That was like a once in a lifetime experience, and it was cool. So, but chaos has been the primary theme of this week in terms of, like, there was some auditions I've had that were pretty important, and everything had to be done a certain way. I was at the place where I film my auditions because I had to do my slate where the phone is. It's called Landscape View, the horizontal one, and that I had to spend an hour and a half of my life setting things up just to get one shot of me walking in front of a camera and standing there and not saying a word. That was cool. It's just been one thing after another. But you know what? At the end of the day, life is good. And all that jazz.
Well, we are in Mercury retrograde. So today we are late. Sorry for being late. The A Show today stands for animals because both Aron's puppy that he's sitting for and my cat, who is also a persnickety rescue. When you get the rescues, you kind of take on everything that they dealt with before. They're both acting up a little bit. So there'll be that today, I'm sure. And so we also had some technical difficulties with our electronics, and he still is out in California. Sometimes the internet is dodgy, and his signal is hit or miss today. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Dodgers.
That's what I said. Brooklyn. No, Los Angeles Dodgers were named after the dodgy internet connection out here on the West Coast.
It's adapted.
Man, yeah. So what? Absolutely. What's going with you?
Well, let's see. Well, I'll mention a couple of things up front. First off, this is an NWA weekend coming up for Aron. So NWA in Atlanta, NWA Power. So if anybody's in that area, catch that show. And the following Tuesday, next Tuesday, we aren't going to be live because that is Aron's travel day. So we'll still have a show coming out, but just we won't be here live. So we will miss you. We also have coming up. Yeah. Coming up on this show with luck, we're going to talk about, I did a Comic-Con this weekend. We're going to see some rattlesnake footage. We're going to talk about how Instagram is running their updates now, and how Facebook has stopped removing made in the lab posts. We're going to talk about the science of a 4-day work week that has just come out. I have a Ren Fair comic story for you, which was very fortuitous this weekend because we have 4 guests lined up to come on that I think you guys will appreciate a whole lot. why respecting your elders is not just a saying, and the 5 love languages and what they mean. So that's sort of on the slate for the next 2 tapings that we're doing today. So hang in there. Plus, we're going to get to all your comments and talk with you guys. So anybody writing in, we are going to be chatting with you. So feel free to say whatever you want. And we're going to talk about that at the end. Or maybe even during it. Hey, Alexa. Aron, have you learned any German? Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Oh, willkommen. Danke. That's the first thing. Every time I go to a country.
Is that it?
No, the first word I want to learn is how to say thank you. That's my thing. Like, where you're in a foreign area, that there's going to be people there helping you, assisting you that most likely speak some English. But then I just think it's nice if you say thank you to them in their native language. I think that's a very, very important thing. And
or do you speak English?
Yeah.
Please, pretty please, please. And I also want to say thank you to Alexa. We want to say thank you to Alexa because she has been running our TikTok and our Instagram. And I was at the Comic-Con this weekend. I was at Suncoast Comic-Con, and one of my friends comes up to me and she's like, Did you see your Instagram this morning? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, your A-Show Instagram. I was like, no, I didn't have time because I don't check in when I'm busy. She's like, look at this. You guys are singing. She shows it to me. My eyes are rolling around like I'm crazy. And he's doing the thing. And thanks, Alexa. I just think that's hilarious. She's going out of her way to post some hilarious content. Oh, well done. This is what we were hoping for. So go over there and find our A-Show on Instagram and TikTok because it's becoming very entertaining. So
yeah.
So anyway, you learn the primary words in whatever language you're in for those countries. You were saying.
Yeah, without a doubt, absolutely, and that was always my thing. That was like, thank you was the first thing I want to learn how to say because I just think that's it's just important, like showing respect to where you're at, And no one is more American than me. I even have my little Under Armour hat here with the stars and stripes on it. And I love this country. I would not want to live in any other country in the world but the United States of America. However, I do think a lot of people at times, when we travel abroad, we expect everything to cater to us. And no, like when you're in someone's house, you pay them that respect, right? To me, it's common sense, right? And that's why the French, I don't think necessarily are fans of us, for going over there and
being American.
Yeah. However, the Damien Sandow character. What's that? Go ahead.
I was going to say I find the French to be very decent, but they have cultural things going on that we don't take the time to learn. So for the French, a lot of their setup, especially in Paris, was that their shops were on the bottom floor and their homes were on the top floor or in the back. So it is tradition to walk into a shop and say bonjour, or after 5 o'clock, bonsoir. So we don't necessarily know that. And we don't always even walk into a house and say hello or introduce ourselves, which I find to be ridiculous here. Like, you announce yourself. So let alone we don't know the customs in other countries, which is important. So when you do something that is perceived to be rude, a lot of times you're going to get it right back. And then if they don't speak English, like we're mistakenly told that in other countries, people, English is the universal language of business. It's not really. I mean, maybe it is like stock market, but it's not. So you don't automatically know English. Parisians don't, French people don't, Germans don't, typically. So you need to know some of their language and you need to speak to them in their language and not just come at them speaking our language, just like we wouldn't appreciate it if they come up to us and speak and assume that we know French. So, whatever you give, you're going to get back. And then we turn around and say, oh, they're so rude. They're so rude. And then I've seen Americans just repeat the question in English louder. Do you know where the Eiffel Tower is? And somehow we think that they're rude. So that's how that has happened. That's how that's transpired. So So yeah.
So it
Hi,
looks like we
Winona.
just lost Aron there. He's gonna probably be popping in and out throughout
Yeah,
the
yeah,
day.
he's
So
having some problems.
April, you might
Hello,
have to
goodbye,
fly solo
please.
here.
Yeah, hello, goodbye, please, thank you, and all the swear words are the first learned in any language. Yes, 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 that's so true, Anona. So let's see. Do we know those? Let's see. Let's rattle them off. Should we do that? Hey, Keon, just got here and y'all are wilding already. Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties, so hang in there with us today. So let's see. Wie geht's? Auf Wiedersehen or choose. Let's see. Scheiße. Bitte, danke. Jawohl. There's my basics for the hello, goodbye, please, thank you. Got it. Let's try that in French. Bonjour, salut. Let's see, what's goodbye? I forget. I'm blanking right now. So, s'il vous plaît. Oh, there you are. You're back. You just saved me trying to figure out all the basics in every language.
Oh,
Bueno.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Molto bene.
I actually, you know what? I quit the podcast, and then about 5 seconds later, I decided no, I don't want to quit, and I just rejoined. So that's all.
There you go. You had it. You're just like, this bitch.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So okay, languages. I'm so sorry. Hey, Mercury retrograde. This is
right. We're blaming everything on retrograde. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sì, parlo italiano.
Yeah.
Molto poquito.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So as we say in Spanish, mi abuelita habla. My little grandmother, that was Spanish then. My little grandmother spoke Italian. So
cool. Right on.
Abuelita.
Right on. All right. Right on. Whatever it said. So I would like to share a little anecdote that happened to me, if it's okay. So I was coming to I come over to Stella's house with groceries, and I had picked Stella up because again she has this separation anxiety. So like I met Stella's mom, and her mom went with her friend. They had to go somewhere. It was kind of not an emergency, but it was a very important thing that came up last minute. So yeah, sure, no problem. So Stella and I get in the car. I stop at the grocery store, carrying groceries in, and I make a trip in the house, and I heard now there's a palm tree. I figured a squirrel shaking, some nuts or something loose from the tree. Go to get the second bag of groceries, and lo and behold, as I go to step out the front door, looking at me in the face is a 3.5-foot rattlesnake. Was the rattle. There he is.
Wow.
That's
scary. That is a big snake.
It's funny because
let's see this.
The snake. Oh yeah, look at him. Is he moving?
Is it over the right?
Yep, he's right against the wall.
Oh, okay, the dark shadow.
That line. It's moving diagonally. Yeah. And a moment like that, because this thing, it was in the direct sunlight, but it was in shade there, so it looked just like this black. It looked like a cobra. It was like black, but it had the yellow down the back.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful snake. It was a beautiful snake. However, so I'm like, oh my God, that's what I heard coming in. And I could have easily stepped on that thing and had a very, very bad day. We'd be having this conversation from probably a hospital bed or something.
If you're lucky.
Because this thing was bad.
Wow.
And however, snakes are very, very important to the ecosystem. My first instinct was to grab a shovel.
Chop it with a thing? Chop it with a shovel?
Yes. No. And that's but that's from years of being conditioned to think a certain way. Being on the West Coast and around all because I'm a person, but cats are cool. I take care of the animals, but like when you encounter a deadly animal or whatever, and even back home, I remember like you would eliminate the snake. Well,
Mm-hmm.
what I've learned in the last couple of years was they are such a essential part of the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after the fire that happened here a couple of years ago. What happened was the rats all went underground.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they went underground. This 300-foot wall of flames came barreling down and essentially burnt. And what happened was the rats came back up. Now they're scavengers, so they were eating people's foods because there was no water or power. So they were like getting it. They were fine. It was a buffet for them. What happened though is the natural predators of them went away. The hawks, the eagles, the snakes. So the rats kept doing it and doing it and doing it well. So their population now, and in the absence of the natural predators, has gotten so out of hand because their babies are having babies and their babies are having babies and so on.
Well, I think it's every 16 days, or that's how it is out here for the rats we have in Florida.
Yeah, so it's just crazy, and and look, the snake was beautiful. So again, and by the way, it had crawled in through some lattice and made a 2.5-foot drop onto the patio. So let's just think about that. It's not like the front door is wide open. Like this snake got in and could not get out.
Wow.
It was, yeah.
It was trapped in there with you?
Yep. So
it was it's been a roommate, hey?
Yeah, until I called a good friend of mine who has been out here, another guy, but like has lived out here his whole life and just knows how to deal with these things. He came by and we'll see the snake was going back and forth. When it was all the way in the corner, the back corner, I barricaded him in with Stella's dog bed. And by the way, Stella loves to sit in the car. Mm-hmm. So if we come back on a car trip, she sits in the car for like an hour before she decides to get out because she likes to just lay in the back of the car with the windows open and the hatchback open. So that's her thing. Thank God, because if she was there, she would have gone after the snake, and it would have been a very, very, disastrous. Yeah. So luckily, all is well. And again, Mercury retrograde. I really think if it was that bad, you know what? I really could have been in trouble. So hey, you look at the positive. Yeah. No one was hurt, and the snake. So the snake, my friend comes, picks it up with a shovel, throws it in a trash can, takes it up the canyon, and see in the canyon there's a lot of there's valleys and stuff like that where people, there's no houses, there's no homes, it's all animals. So then the snake has a new home. I joke, I said he's been put in the witness protection program and relocated.
There you go.
And I was just so glad that that everything was okay. Like the snake was cool, and I think that's important. If we can ever not harm an animal, no matter how scary they are, always choose the right thing. And look, sometimes
and Mandir just said that is scary. So yeah, especially the potential is scary there.
Yeah, and the thing is, and this is why I believe in the guardian angels, spirit guides. Like when I saw and I walked out, and this thing was 2 feet in front of me. I really should have needed a change of clothes right then and there. But I was oddly okay. Is it? I'm going to be calm. There's no, all right, let's deal with this. And everything was fine. So yeah, that was, I definitely think some divine intervention. So thank you publicly to whoever assisted me in that. Yeah. It's important. Yeah, so that was that, and then we already told the whale story, right?
We did.
I was using the throne, so that happened, and that was my week. It was like a the Discovery Channel.
That's happening out here too. We've had multiple bear sightings out here. They actually just closed Philippi Park and Safety Harbor because of a bear roaming around that they need to, I guess, contain and relocate. Up in Pasco County, there are bears. My neighborhood, just bears walking around. Lots of the cameras have been picking up on them, which is, I don't remember ever hearing about this before having lived here. They're just everywhere right now. And we also had a killer whale sighting here in Tampa Bay, which is unbelievably weird.
Wow.
So, I mean, last weekend, my friend and I went kayaking, and we literally ran into a manatee, and we're kayaking with the manatee. That's kind of normal, which was amazing and beautiful and peaceful and just totally awesome. That's never happened to me before.
You know what?
What?
I am not going kayaking in Tampa.
Why?
Because I just remembered my encounter in Tampa Bay.
You are going kayaking in Tampa.
With a 9-foot bull shark. Okay?
Yes. But I don't think it's mating season right now. And no, you have not.
So it was Santino and I, Boris, as I will refer to him on this show, we decided to go fishing. And we're in the Tampa Bay. And we're chilling. We're kicking it. Our other friend, Little George, was there from Toronto. Everyone catches a fish but me. I finally catch a 12-foot bonita. Or no, 12-foot, sorry. That's a fishtail. No, a 12-inch bonita fish. Okay? 12 inches, but it's something, okay, cool. I go to bend over and scoop it up. I am at the very edge. So
it was 6 inches?
Yes.
Was it 6 inches?
yeah, we'll say. It was a goldfish. All right, it was a tin can, but it was something. So I go to scoop this thing up. It's right at the edge of the boat, and I'm talking right at the edge. My feet are on the edge. I'm not stressing this enough. As I go to dip my net in the water, the captain goes, "Don't move." And I'm like, huh? And then I see like a gray missile go boom. And I thought it was a shadow. I thought it was like a plane or something flying overhead, or a bird, or
That's what the manatee looked like. It looked like a dark shadow.
Oh, what's that? And then something rocked against the side underneath the boat. And the next thing I know, right in front of me, I just saw teeth, the eye roll in the back of the head. The fish is gone. He swallowed the fish whole and took off. And it was exactly like Jaws. When he's on here, he'll reinforce.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
The reel kept the reel was kept unraveling. I'm trying to hold it to no avail.
Take the knife and cut it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you didn't have a knife, did you?
No.
I have a knife.
Oh.
I always have a knife. I'm from Philly. There's a fucking knife on me at all times.
It should be. That's the way it should be. I think Santino, Boris, and Little George were holding, because the three of us are on this thing. The shark tail whacked the line and was done. But when you see something that close, that is as close as you can ever get to seeing something like that and not have blood drawn. Okay?
Well, I can tell you, kayaking in Tampa, we don't go that deep.
It wasn't that deep.
It had to be you have to have a depth finder for the boats. There has to be a certain point. We're not going that deep.
But sharks can. No, this was very shallow. And the cat agrees with me, by the way. The cat absolutely agrees with me.
You can hear him. Keep talking. I'm going to let him out because he's yelling at me.
But no, the shark was it didn't look real. It looked like Jaws because it was just so insane. And like with the snake, for a second you go, oh, wait a minute, what's that? Is that a hose? Or there's no way that's a live snake. Oddly enough, it wasn't my first encounter like this, because many years ago in Tampa,
I was just going to say, There's a joke here in Florida, and I was waiting for. I knew there was gonna be more, and the joke is when you get to Florida, everything here tries to kill you, whether it's the drivers, the wildlife, or your exes. For the first at least 2 years, everything in Florida tries to kill you.
Yep. Yeah. I can see that.
It's accurate, I think.
It's just a If Florida is a different place, man. Because I had made peace, and we lived in townhomes right by I say right by. It was maybe like a mile or something from University of Tampa.
Leslie V is agreeing, right? Everything might be even the weather. Yeah, sorry, I forgot the storms too. Play it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I left out the weather. I left out the red tide and the flesh-eating bacteria as well. So it might be longer than 2 years. It might be more like 5 or 10 years. So yeah.
Insane.
So you live downtown in South Tampa.
But I had made peace with the fact that in my room there was a lizard.
How did you find it? I remember your room was. How do we put it?
It was on the ground level.
Your room was declutter challenged.
No, I was kept in a room. Oh, maybe at that time in my life I didn't.
Oh.
No, I could have. Very well, it could have been a mess then.
I might have caught you after you came home from a tour or whatever that time.
That was probably. Then again, that was a different time in my life and that. But no, I right now I'm actually a stickler for like I make the bed every morning and I like an orderly area. But no, this lizard. I didn't know where he lived, but like he would come to and fro. Never bothered me, never messed with me. But that was Florida.
Mm-hmm.
That was Florida. I mean, you can't mess with that. I didn't want to kill him. I mean,
yeah. Australia or Florida, which has the higher survival rate? Honestly, I don't know. That always used to be the joke with Australia. Everything out there tries to kill you because it's pretty extreme. But honestly, I don't think Florida gets the credit that it deserves for
there was the
survivors.
Yeah,
the survivors don't get the credit that they deserve.
Yeah, I agree.
So I mean, Australia is known to be extreme. Here we're known, hashtag Florida man. So
yeah,
it's pretty extreme. It's pretty extreme here. Oh,
it's insane. Because in Florida when it was a flood or rain flooded the storm drains, this was about a 5-foot python. I'm sorry, maybe it was like 4.5 or something. It wasn't. I don't think it was quite 5. I would send the picture to Colin because I have picture proof of this.
okay.
We had a bunch of our friends over, and it was like 1 a.m. One of our friends goes outside to make a phone call, comes back in. He says, "Hey, that was a good joke." Well, he said a good rib. That's wrestling for joke. And he goes, "Yeah, put that snake out there." What are you talking about? He goes, "There's a GD 6-foot cobra sitting on the front steps, and it clearly wasn't real." And I went,
"Cobra?"
I go, "What do you?" Well, I mean, it was. He said it was exaggerated. It wasn't a real cobra. It was a python, but it was a big python. Okay. So, but he was, kind of just, I think, explaining the severity of the situation. Well, I get down to my balcony and I look down because our balcony was right over the front door, and I see this tail just hanging, and it moves just a little bit. And I went, "Oh shit!" I go, "Let's deal with this." So sure enough, this snake, and it was crawling down the townhomes, and I ended up with a flashlight there because we called the cops. They said call animal control. We call animal control. They said call the cops because in Florida, if people, "Oh my God, I saw a snake," and it turns out to be like an 8-inch garden snake or something like that, it turns out to be not that big of a deal. No, this thing was a threat. And oh God, I have to. We'll get the picture when Santino comes on. We'll discuss all these things again. But I just remember I was there, and it was just on the news about someone called the cops at a Wendy's and then was arrested for making a false police report. So the last thing I'm going to do, because the cops have now been involved, the cops have now been called for like the third time or something. And all right, we're coming. So like, all right, I am tracking this thing to prove that there is a snake, because I'm not going to go to jail for falsely calling the cops. So this thing is, and it's oozing down it's slithering down the townhome. And the last thing I want to do too, if someone opens their front door and this thing is looking at them in the face, they're probably going to have a hard time, or like it'll see a small dog and stuff. So like, I'm keeping an eye on this thing. So as I'm doing this, and this is like 1:30 in the morning now, this lunatic on a bicycle, who I think was on several substances, comes by and goes, "Hey man, what's going on?" Hey, what's going on, dude? And I am not trying to be, I'm a very friendly person, or at least I try to be. I'm trying to talk to this guy right now, right? We got the cop, and I let him know, I'm like, "Hey dude, the cops are coming. So you should probably get out of here, because it looks like you have a couple warrants out for your arrest, most likely. You know, just on by the sight of you. Like, what are you doing on a bicycle at 1 a.m, you know, here?" So the guy's not going away. He's, "Oh, man, is that a snake?" I'm like, "Yep." He goes, "Oh, I'd love to have him." I said, "No, cops are coming. And they said they will deal with the situation." Now, I'm not moving. I'm not letting this guy try to steal it. Well, now the cops come. So I know, and it was a minivan and a regular car. They were plain cars. But they pull up, and I think it was like 4 of them got out, right? Or may have been 5, I don't know. I don't want to exaggerate. So they're all there, and the lunatic on the bicycle is standing by me. And I'm like, "Officer, the snake is right there. And all it was I had called you in vain." Well, the lunatic says, "Hey, can I take him?" Cop goes, "Yeah, let's see a minute." "Oh, that is a big snake." And I'm going like, "Yeah, no, like, of course." Well, the cops were cool, and they told the lunatic, "Yes, you can go take him." I went inside, got a pillowcase. By the time I came back with the pillowcase, the lunatic had picked the snake up. I can't make this up.
Probably had it wrapped around his neck, right?
Had it wrapped around his hand like this, said goodbye to the cops, said goodbye to me, and rode his bicycle off into the moonlight with the snake with one hand, like driving like this.
Hashtag Florida man. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's something every week here that makes me go, "What the fuck?" Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing with living in Tampa Bay. Like, there's that WTF factor every single week. And I love that, because I'm not the weird one. Hey. Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. I absolutely believe you. Oh, we got bears. Let's see this. Right. Wow. She's a warrior. I believe it. I saw somebody, I saw a dude down here run into the water. An alligator snatched his dog. Dude was like 70 years old, had a cigar, went into the water, didn't even drop the cigar the whole time, beat the shit out of the alligator, got his dog back. I was like, that's gangster. That is gangster. I would totally do that. But to switch over to another subject real quick. Wow. This, yeah. So if you come to Florida, be prepared. These are some of the things you may encounter. Or I don't want to say may encounter, you probably will encounter them, given if you get enough time there. So Instagram is now hiding likes to reduce pressure on people and creators, which I think is phenomenal. I think that's a great idea. I don't know why they waited so long to do that. I was saying, if I had to grow up in a likes-based social media world, you start making things and posting things maybe that are influenced by people rather than what you like or your artist's integrity. And I think that's great that they're taking the likes away. You know what I mean? Are you there still?
Well, yes, and I am so sorry for the signal, but I don't.
You caught part of that?
I don't agree.
I'm saying
it's the way the world's go. But, we maintain our.
You're kind of cutting out. Your connection is pure shite. Well, anyway, that's one of our stories this week. You there?
That was a scam call.
It was a what?
That was a scam call.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Instagram is hiding likes, which is great, and Facebook is now they're no longer removing posts that say the virus originated in a lab. So it only took them 1.5 years to come around to this, even though if you follow the motive and you're aware of what was going on in China for most of the year previous to all this happening, it's a logical deduction that this may have been a chemical weapon. So it's interesting that they have now allowed a little bit more of a open-minded thinking as far as the virus. And you have to remember that this thinking of it being made in the lab was considered a conspiracy theory by nut jobs for the last 1.5 years or so. So bear in mind that it takes a while for things to come out sometimes, that the mainstream media likes to have an agenda or an MO and keep to that, and that we don't always get the proof or the facts right away. So before we're quick to label people conspiracy theorists or nut jobs or whacked or whatever, we might want to keep a little bit of an open mind instead of deciding that whatever facts were being fed based on the science available, and the graphs and whatever else is paid for and distributed at that particular time. We may want to withhold our opinions for a while because time tends to reveal more. So, after all, the CDC, which was the leading site with all of this, said only 2 weeks ago, I think, that this has been airborne. Whereas we knew this. We knew it wasn't person-to-person spread. We knew it was airborne. So, one person didn't sneeze in Wuhan and give it to the entire city because they all touched droplets and then touched their nose. It's common fucking sense that this is airborne. Why it wasn't being admitted, but people are looking to this this site and these people to give them direction on what to do. So when you can't get leadership and you can't get advice and you can't get legitimacy in something that is literally a life or death situation, and you want some kind of answers, or at least say, we don't know right now, we're kind of looking into things, at least do that. You kind of mess people up, and we've lost a lot of trust in our government, and we're fighting amongst ourselves because some people know, some of us know that this is bullshit, and we know, we have a gut feeling. We follow the money, we do our research, and we know a lot of things, and a lot more is going to be revealed. And then other people are perfectly fine to trust the science, which you're not. You're actually just trusting the television or whatever you're being told. So to those people, I'm asking you to keep an open mind, because more and more is being revealed with every layer of that onion being peeled back. So let's not be so hasty to call people names and alienate friends and family, as we are finding out. Just like we're going to find out, it's been in this country since November 2019. France has already admitted it. Trade was wide open. It was here.
Mm-hmm.
Our first wave was actually
Mm-hmm.
December, January. So there's that. Are you back with us, Aron?
Yes, I am. And again, I apologize, and to all our viewers and to you and Colin publicly. I'm so sorry. There's a chat going on. I have no idea how I sound in the chat. I go to click on the chat, the thing goes. If I do anything other than sit here and just StreamYard,
Just
okay.
sit there.
So
we just want to see your pretty face. We just want to see your pretty face. You're fine to sit there.
No, I have to just sit here and not touch the phone because this is just I tell you, this has been a but
it's okay.
Here's the thing. We ask ourselves, why did Facebook do this, right? You ask yourself why, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did this happen? Because a decision had to be made, right? So you ask yourself, okay, why? Then you use a little common sense, and it is what it is. And
no, the decision didn't have to be made. They call it fake news. Fake news. Fake news. People got in fights over it. I had a fight with my ex over this. I fought with my ex over this multiple times.
Yeah, but no, like what I'm saying is someone from Facebook had to say, like, hey, we're not going to mess with these posts anymore, right? So,
mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like whatever decision or whatever led to that decision is, yes, it's relevant in the sense of, sorry.
You heard that?
It is relevant in the sense of making a like leading to that decision, but the bottom line is the decision was made. Okay, now in my opinion was made because there will probably be some coming up to support that theory, and maybe I'm wrong, but who knows. But in essence, like the conspiracy theorists and there's there's fringe people in all walks of life. However,
fringe, not conspiracy theorists. Yes.
No, I like, and I said there's people on the fringes of like every walk of life, right?
Yeah.
And so you're going to get some really wacko conspiracy theorists, but then you're going to get some people who, and again, I don't call them conspiracy theorists. It's like they follow like who's making money off this, who's doing what. You just got to do your own research, because as Grandmaster Flash in the Furious 5 said, it's all money and a damn thing funny, and that is true. No, but that is true. Like who's, do your own research, draw your own conclusions. And that's all.
Yeah.
And we've always encouraged this. And I should do my research on a Wi-Fi connection in this place. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you need the extra, like the booster or something right now. But that said, thank you for trying to be here regardless of your situation. So it's good of you to still show up and keep the show going. So thank you. So we were going to talk about Mr. Wizard being a dick, but you want to wait until we have a little bit of a clearer signal to do that? We can hold off on that one?
Yes, I agree, because Mr. Wizard, and you know what? How about fans do your research? Look this guy up.
Okay.
Check out.
That way we can have a conversation. Okay. Yeah. We can do a group conversation on our next live the week after this one. So I read something and I wrote about it too. I read something in a psychology magazine, and it really resonated with me and hit me really hard. And this is one of those dating life advice things. And we always hear about being not enough. But there's a flip side to that that's just as dangerous and just as ruinous to our relationships. And that's being too much. So for many of us, we have been too much of something our entire lives. And we were told when we were kids that we were too loud, or we talked too much, or we were too hyper, or we were too... we're too angry, or we question too much. And as a response to this, we kind of sand down our curves and our edges to fit in, to be around other people, because that's what we think that they need and want with us. And the end result is that you become too laid back, and you carry this watered down version of yourself into your romantic relationships and into your friendships too. And you become this no worries, that's okay, sure, no problem kind of person. You got it. And you don't have boundaries a lot of times, and you aren't able to say no. And you become all about, sure, no problem, I'll help you. Like, you become this laid back person that's too laid back. And when your friends or your significant other, whom you've been holding back with because you think that that's what they want to see, that's all they're capable of seeing, that's how they that's how they need to see you. You don't want to put everything on them because they might, you might scare them away, and you don't want to lose them. When they do see the real you, they see the anger, they see you talking too much, or they see I don't know, the conspiracy theory side, or they see how loud you are, or why are you being so dramatic? Stop being so dramatic and emotional. With all these things that you've tamped down, when they see it, they're not pleased. They're not pleased. And if they say something on the lines of, you're too much, you start to wonder, are you too much? Because you've heard that your whole life. You heard it from your family. You heard it from your teachers. And you start to wonder, is this true? Am I too much? And this is a thing that's really, really detrimental and that we don't talk about, being too laid back. And I think a lot of us have dealt with this. It hits a lot of us in the gut, And I think we do ourselves a great disservice by not being all that we really are. If somebody really cares about you, they'll let you be all that you are. And quite honestly, at the end of the day, we're all flawed. That person's probably too much in some department too. Just like you are.
Yeah.
Colin, you have anything on that too? Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was going to say, because of the bad connection, for the rest of the broadcast, I will say that one word: strategic times.
Yeah.
That was such a great point. Yeah, but honestly, you've done such a great job. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, I think that's a fascinating point, and I've never heard that before. And let's hear from Colin too. But yes, for the next 12 minutes or so, I will simply say, yeah, when something.
No, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to repeat yourself, April. I was doing some backstage stuff and wasn't quite paying attention.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just saying that
Yeah.
the flip side of being not enough is being too much, being told you're too much, too dramatic, too angry, too loud, too talkative. And you carry that into, you compact yourself down, and you become too laid back as an adult. And you carry that with you into your relationships, into your friendships, into your romantic relationships. And then when something about you comes out, a lot of times they're not pleased. I remember I've had several exes along the way say to me, God, you talk too much. Obviously, I'm doing a podcast, so this is what I do. Or, why do you research all these things? Why do you need to know this stuff? You're just so curious about things. Why can't you just let them be? Or, why are you so why do you care about these things so much? You're just so emotional about them. And I'm like, well, if I don't care, why should anybody else care? Somebody's got to care about these things, and they get upset with me. They see it and they get upset with me. But meanwhile, I've been this way with my friends. Some of my friends have been around since, high school. And I've always been totally honest with them, and they're still here. They've seen the real me. They've seen the dramatic, fucked up, teary, ugly side. You've picked me up off the floor lots of times, Aron. So I mean, like, these people I've been friends with for a very long time have seen the horrible side of me as well, all the bad stuff, and they're still around. But that's the stuff that we tend to be laid back and not take into relationships and be like, okay, that's fine, sure, no problem, whatever you need, I'll be supportive. And we carve it off of ourselves and become too laid back. And I think a lot of us do that.
Yeah, I'm doing it too, Aron. Yeah. But no, I get that a lot from people that tell me that I'm one of the managers that I used to work with sat me down one day and he's like, "You're one of the most even-keeled people that I've ever met." Like I keep it pretty much. I'm just calm all the time, especially in a work environment and stuff like that. So when I do come out of character, a lot of times people are looking at me like, oh my gosh, that's like, we've never seen him act like that before. Or
it scares them, right? It freaks them out.
Sometimes I get the sternness in my voice and I'm being told that I'm yelling at someone, but I'm not yelling. Like my yelling voice is completely different from my stern voice. But I totally get what you're saying there, April. Is like when I start to talk about something I'm a little more passionate about, it just comes out, and I get excited about it. I get happy about it. I go on and on and on. And I get your point exactly, because there is that side where you kind of have that side with your friends where they've seen the silliness inside of you and everything. And I've seen that with my friends, because or a certain group of my friends, I can be a certain way around, but usually in new groups or new settings, I'll be a little bit more reserved than I would be if I was around the people that I'm a lot more comfortable with in that setting. If that kind of answers your question there.
Yeah. And like I was saying, I think we do ourselves a great disservice by not being who we are. Yeah. So this weekend I worked a Ren Fair. I worked the Suncoast Comic Con, and I think we have some pictures of that. And it was really fun to get back into the convention again. It wasn't super big, but it was awesome. And I have I have 2 cosplayers that will be coming on the show and 2 artists. Really, really good quality guests for us. I think you guys will really like them. And you just keep doing that. And Colin, do you have any pictures to add up? Yep, there we go. Somebody took that one. Yeah, they requested that I do Mary Jane from Spider-Man this weekend, and that's Alex Saviak's sign. There's no Spider-Man there. Yeah, that is Amazon Steph. She's one of our guests that will be coming in, I believe, as Alex Saviak will. That is Jeff Whiting. He created the Tick. So yeah, we had a really, really good time getting out of the house and putting on my spandex. Not so much fun trying to pee. Do you want to do the Comic Con in Stuttgart? Yes, I do. How about you? I want to totally do that.
Oh, yeah.
Jawohl. Jawohl.
If
definitely,
you haven't been
I would
to
love to do
Stuttgart,
that.
you don't know what you're missing.
Oh, no. I have not, actually.
Neither have I.
Been to a few places.
That's why I don't know what I'm missing.
I don't know what I'm missing either, so I would love to do that.
To find out.
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I would love to do that. So there was this weird situation where I divide my table. So half of it's like, pictures, comics, posters, and the other half is my organic soy candles and artisan soaps and CBD oil bath bombs. Etsy.com/shop/April's Sensations. So
yeah.
So there was a young girl. She's 15 years old. She was dressed as a character from Legends of Zelda, and she was rocking it. Very, very young girl. And she comes up and she picks up a soy candle. It was one I just made. And it was Dragon's Blood, Black Amber, and Lavender. And she's just smelling it. And she can't put it down. She's just like, oh my God. She's like, this smells like Ren Fair. And she's with she's with a belly dancer friend. And it was myself and my friends, a couple of my friends around, and another couple that went to Ren Fair the weekend before. And the people that she was with. And I said, it's funny that you say that because I named it Self-Care, which I have now changed it to Ren Fair. Because my friend Jamie, when all this stuff happened with Bay Area Ren Fair and people pulled off and did a strike because they weren't going to pay their talent as much, I asked him, I said, are you still going? He said, yeah, I'm going. That's self-care for me. So when I made the candle, I named it Self-Care. So she keeps smelling it. She's like, this smells like my mom. And I was like, oh, really? She's like, yeah, my mom worked at the Ren Fair. I said, did she, she not work there now? She's like, no, she died 3 years ago. She was 12 years old. And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, but we used to go all the time. This smells just like her. She's like, I need to buy this. This smells like mom. And Jamie goes all the time. I was like, oh, she goes, I said, who's, Jamie might know her. And I said to him, she told me her mom was a gypsy dancer. I said to Jamie, I'm like, oh, I said, her mom is a dancer. And she said who she was. And his face just fell, just fell. And he's like, oh, your mom was Shelley. And I was like, ooh, there's a story there. So later, he told me, he's like, yeah, she died from cancer. It was really, really rough. And she must have been young. So here is this girl that, there was probably 7 or 8 of us standing around, that up until she said something, we were all kind of strangers. And she picks up a candle, says, this smells like Ren Fair, starts talking about our mom. And then one by one, we realized we had all been in the same place. We all knew the same people. We were all literally 1 degree of separation from a memory, a scent. And it just made me realize, through a moving story like that, how incredibly connected we all are. We're so connected, even if you don't necessarily see it at first or understand it. That whole 6 degrees of, separation, that Kevin Bacon thing, I think it's a lot closer than that sometimes. So it doesn't necessarily, you know what I mean? It made me wonder, I'm like, what scent would it take to unite the entire world? Would that be Cocoa Pebbles? Bacon? Peanut butter? What would it take? This is where you just say, yeah. Yeah, that's one of the soaps my friend Ava and I made. We did that was the Dragon's Blood, Black Amber, and Lavender version of the soap that is now called Ren Fair. So, yep.
Yeah.
So, well, due to having a questionable connection, we were trying to do longer shows, a little bit longer, because we need to have a certain amount of time on Twitch every 30 days in order to take advantage of their monetization program, which we haven't been able to do yet. But today might not be the best day to do that. So maybe we'll keep it right. That's appropriate. Maybe we'll keep it a little bit shorter. And Colin, do you have any questions and comments from Patreon that we need to address and talk about?
Let me get pulled up.
Okay.
Get those pulled up real quick. So we actually we did our drawing for the Young Bucks autographed children's book that we had, and that went out to let me see, our patron Paul, and I'm gonna butcher his name, Durhagopian.
I know Paul.
Paul,
hey, congratulations!
He won the drawing, and we've got his address, and we've got that shipped out to him.
That's awesome! Congratulations!
And then let's see, we've definitely got some comments here. You guys, I posted an article that the two of you wrote. I believe Aron wrote it with you editing it, April. It's about character matters.
Mm-hmm.
And our good friend of the show, Fred. Aron, I have basically been a lifelong fan, and you are right. Without a character to bring you in, what's the point? I watched the Roman Reigns and John Cena signing, and it was the best 14 minutes of wrestling I have ever seen. And it was done with no moves, just talk. And it was real. All emotions were on the table. I stopped watching wrestling due to Kurt Angle, or Super Angle as I call him. You pick the best finisher in the business, and he kicks out every time. It's BS. F that guy. And now it's all about the 5 false finishes and flips. I miss my wrestling. That had some grit to it.
Yeah. I loved that article that you wrote, Aaron. I thought it was fantastic. And then it was weird editing that for you because he sent it to me to look over, and I said, did you want me to read it or edit it? He's like, well, if you would, edit it too. And it's weird being a wrestler editing a wrestling article because I know so many people and know so much about the business. I was able to kind of throw some shit in there, but I liked what you wrote because it needed to be said, Thought it was really
I
good.
couldn't understand anything.
Just say yeah. Just say yeah. Just say yeah. Just say yeah.
Yeah.
And also on the children's book thing, before I forget, I have one coming up, and we just finished the illustrations. This is a sneak peek. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh,
so I have.
Cool.
Yeah, I got very, very. I got very, very lucky to have a Disney illustrator help me with it. So we just finished the illustrations this weekend, and that will be coming out sooner than later. So I'm excited about it. That's been under contract for like 2 freaking years, and it's been challenging to find an illustrator. So this is exciting for me. I like doing children's books because I am basically a child. So
we had one comment in the chat when I posted a picture of your soap. That's not a fancy dessert. It definitely looks like a delicious fancy dessert when you have your soap posted there.
Angelina says that all the time. Angelina loves. She's like, I want to eat all your soaps. So, I know they must look like brownies or something, but yeah.
And then Jay Reezy in the chat wants to know when we're going to see April in some Star Trek cosplay. Is that a possibility? Are you a Trekkie or are you a Star Wars fan? I think we probably need to settle that chat here.
Well, I'm a Star Wars fan. I have done R2D2. My R2D2 dress. I have not done a Star Trek cosplay, even though somebody asked me to do the counselor, because I have not watched the series. So, and people have told me for ages, I've terribly, I know it's awful. I've not watched Star Trek, and I have not watched Doctor Who. And people tell me you have to watch those. So I just feel like there's so much of it. I feel overwhelmed. Like, you give me something that has like 2 or 3 seasons, I'm like, cool. You give me something that's been running for 525 years, I'm just like, oh my God, where do I start? So I haven't watched it, so I feel like I like a little bit of an imposter. And I don't know where to start. But yeah, if I had like a counselor outfit, I might do it. So you want to send it? I'll wear whatever you guys send. So the cosplays get kind of expensive. I don't know if you saw the Viking shoot that I did a couple weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago? That dress was expensive because it was custom made. But oh my God, did it turn out beautiful?
And then I got a couple comments on our the costume party episode that we had. Again from Fred. He said, Aaron, you're killing me on the Ren Fair orgies. I haven't laughed this loud in so long. Gymnasts and power lifters getting their freak on. Geez.
That is now my favorite episode 14. So if you guys haven't seen episode 14, do go over and check that one out. It was a combination of pretty much everything, and it's worth the hour and 20 minutes or whatever it was. It's a good one.
And then
thanks, Fred.
we've got Chris Porter. What goes on after the Olympics, especially the figure skating competition? We definitely touched on that. What could possibly go on the Olympic Village after the Olympics?
What could honestly, you would think people are on the road, they want to go home. God, what? Yeah.
We have a better connect. I was talking to one of the coach of the U.S. Olympic teams out here, who's going to Tokyo, and the other day we were actually weed whacking. So, what's that? I'll tell you later. Yeah.
No, that's funny.
Well, you have to weed whack because of the fires.
Aaron's
I can't hear anything.
April sign languaging.
The picture's messed up. It's pixelated. I can't hear anything. Just it's not my week. You know what? I'm just gonna go hang out with Stella, and while we close, so you guys can just see Stella. I'm sorry. I apologize to the fans. I apologize to all of you.
No! Come back! Wait!
I'm here.
There we go. Can we see Stella? Oh, there's Stella. Oh, she is beautiful. She's beautiful. She looks very calm in your presence. Very, very calm. That's where the rattlesnake was, hey?
I'm sitting exactly where the rattlesnake was.
Wow. Oh, she is a big baby, isn't she? Look at her. I can see why you took this happy job there. So everybody should be so lucky to have a good pet sitter. They are worth their weight in gold. So
well, the thing is, I'm not a pet sitter. I'm just a friend. Like I was just watching her. I mean, I'm not going to charge money.
I know.
I mean, Stella, you hang out with her. You hang out with her. You love on her, and dogs are people too.
Dogs are better people than people are.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Were there any other comments?
No, I didn't have any other comments there from Patreon.
Okay.
That's
Chris
pretty
Porter.
much it.
All right, cool. Well, we're sorry that everything went a little wonky this week. We're going to totally blame it on Mercury retrograde. And when we get everything together, not this week, not this coming week, the week after, we will have a better connection for you. And we have a lot of stuff lined up. Our third Tuesday, our night show, we are bringing in a cosplayer named Kira, I believe, and you're going to like her. She is a young Spitfire with lots to say, very, very deep personality, very interesting, very pretty girl. And remember, Aron has NWA this weekend in Atlanta, Power. And thank you again to Alexa and all of our patrons for your attention and for supporting us. It really does matter. It matters a lot. Thank you for financially supporting us. Thank you for showing up at our lives. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you for retweeting our stuff and sharing it and commenting on Twitter. It's very, very gratifying for us. You know, it's more than you know. Mm-hmm. So, and at the end of the month, we have a special guest for you guys as well. So just hang in there, come back, visit us. We will be here. We hope you will be here. And thank you for joining us. If you are listening to this, you can watch us on patreon.com, The A Show. And we are live almost every Tuesday with the exception of Aaron's travel days on twitch.tv, The A Show, and also on YouTube Live. So, and also I noticed a couple people said they were having a little bit of a problem connecting to being able to comment today. So we're going to see if we can get that ironed out for the near future too. So, Colin, you got anything to add?
No, I have nothing else to add. Probably just have some audio that we'll probably play on the podcast episode of this for the NWA that's going to try to get released here. And that's it for everybody here.
June
Awesome.
6th, baby. Hot Atlanta Widows Fall available only on Fight TV. You got to be there, baby. The NWA, it's back.
Yeah. Thanks.